A very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all present over here, teachers. I hope you are able to hear us comparatively better. Is it clear? I'm extremely sorry for beginning the session a little late. We had some issues with the Zoom, and now the customer care has reported and responded. Now I think things are functioning comparatively better. I hope you're able to hear me. We would like to sincerely apologize for the delay. We'll ensure to complete the session by 11 o'clock or 11:05 maximum. I hope everybody is able to hear us. Without further delay, let's quickly begin with the session. We are touching an important topic this time called as ADHD. I would like to warmly welcome each and every member to the 130th Super Sunday Workshop. And this time we felt an important area called as ADHD, which is gaining gradual attention. There are a lot of misconceptions revolved around, and there are a lot of schools who have special children categorized under ADHD. So we'll be discussing about various things, and we'll also talk to Dr. Samanvita, so basically a clinical psychologist, to have a detailed understanding and the correct understanding of some of the misconceptions. The volume is very low. I hope it's comparatively better. Is it better now? It's clear. Some people say it's better. Okay, I'll keep it like this for some time. I'm not in my location. So that's the reason there must be a little glitches here and there. But anyways, let's get back. Let's get back. And I would like to share the screen. And I would like to also thank all the teachers, computer science teachers, and the schools from Chennai who participated in the CSGEMS program yesterday. There were around 400 teachers coming down to IIT Madras Research Park. It's my humble gesture right now. It's like the basic gesture, in fact, to recognize the efforts taken by people to have traveled such a long distance to attend the event. All the schools who have come for CSGEMS yesterday at IIT Madras Research Park, thank you very much for that. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, we're going to get into a brief exposure. Now for this particular exposure, the first thing is, let us observe. I hope everybody's able to look at the screen. So the first point is, have you observed children who seem to zone out often, missing instructions even when you speak clearly? There are a lot of times a teacher might be talking about few things and you're very confident that the session is absolutely fine. I'm doing a good job. But the students are not able to probably hear me or see me clearly. Basically zoning out. In a very humorous manner, some people say that you have this ability to sleep by keeping your eyes open or something like that, but this zone out is little more uh, frequent rather than saying occasional. Have you seen children who constantly move around, fidget or tap, or even when you ask them to sit still? Like, I think this is another major issue. The students keep revolving around the classes. They jump and run and all those things. But not everybody who does that actually fall under the category of ADHD. That's where misconceptions come into picture. We'll talk about that as well. Do you have students who speak out of turn, interrupt frequently, or blurt out answers without waiting for their turn? You ask a question, everybody's excited to give the answer. So you must be like, everybody does that, right? Does it really get categorized under ADHD? We'll talk about that as well. Have you noticed children who start tasks but rarely finish them, quickly jumping from one activity to another? Some of you must be like, even I do that. Hamare saath bhi hota hai. We do this often. Yeah, could be the case. Let's go forward. Do you find students who are forgetful about daily routines, losing pencils, books, or homework, or missing deadlines repeatedly, unintentionally? Do they really do that? Intentionally, many people do. But what is this all about? Let's understand this. Have you seen children who seem very easily distracted, turning to look at every small sound or movement in the class? A little bit of sound outside the classroom, they'll jump and see what's happening outside, even when the teachers are present in the class. These are some of the areas. In fact, I have one more point. Do you notice children who act without thinking, climbing on the furniture, maybe on the table or desk, running indoors, or engaging in risky play more than peers? Jumping from the first floor, going to the top of the parapet of the building. you know all these are some of the things that the children have done in my school, and I've seen that. And today I'm like, oh, that's ADHD. Okay, that's fantastic. So let's understand. ADHD is real. Understanding it is the first step to helping. I would also like to tell you, is there anybody in this particular hall who thinks that you have ADHD? Or are you diagnosed with ADHD? Anybody like that? Anybody? If you know, you can just put it on the chat. If you think that I'm very active in my life and that is ADHD, no, that's not. That's not the case. Many people believe that we are diagnosed and we are having ADHD, but it requires proper scrutiny. There has to be a proper research, proper documentation of our activities for over a sustained period of a minimum of 6 months. It's very important for the doctors, maybe psychiatrists or clinical psychologists to come to a conclusion if a particular person is having ADHD or not. That's the first point I would like to establish. Let's understand this in a very simple manner. ADHD is a neurodevelopmental condition. I'll repeat it. It's a neurodevelopmental condition, something that has to do with the brain that affects a child's ability to focus, control impulses, and regulate activity levels in a way that matches their age. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it. This is the most important point. It's a neurodevelopmental condition. Point number one. It is affecting the child's ability to focus, control impulses, reflex actions. Quickly they'll do something. They're not even having a control of it. And regulate activities levels in a way that matches their age. Not just naughtiness or laziness. That cannot be categorized under uh, one second. That cannot be categorized under ADHD alone. So that's actually not the case. Second is caused by differences in brain development and functioning. Usually appears in early childhood and may continue into adolescence and adulthood. Generally detected before the age of 12. I'll repeat it. Generally detected before the age of 12. If a person is having ADHD or not. We'll talk about if it can be cured or not a little later. But let's go forward. Usually appears in early childhood, may continue into adolescence and adulthood, can affect learning behavior and social interactions. Can affect learning behavior. We'll see a small clip of this to understand it better. Now, one important point is it is not caused due to screen time. Many people believe that ADHD is basically the lack of concentration. Their attention spans are reduced to a very large extent. So definitely it's because of screen time, but there is no study reporting that screen time causing ADHD, because it has got everything to do with the brain. So maybe it could be genetic in nature, maybe it could be something during the birth, but screen time will not cause ADHD. The students might become hyperactive, but ADHD in terms of disorder is not caused due to screen time. This is something that I would like to establish right in the beginning. Now let us understand this in the form of a small snippet. It's a very good video. Please watch this. For that, I would like to share the screen with the audio.
Did you get any of that? Well, this is how it feels to be me. I have ADHD, which is short for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It's a fancy name for people who find it hard to concentrate, remember things, and organise themselves. But who tend to be really curious, creative, and enthusiastic. Imagine your thoughts are planets and your brain is a spaceship. Most people can navigate it easily. They go where they want, when they want, always at the right speed. For example, slowing down to pay attention in class. My ship often feels out of control. Like when my teacher is explaining something and a word reminds you of something else, which makes you think of another thing. My brain keeps connecting ideas at top speed till I'm miles away from where I'm supposed to be. My speedy brain can be frustrating because it doesn't always let me think things through before I do them. Then I feel silly and embarrassed. But ADHD can be an advantage for solving problems. If my brain rocket is pointing in the right direction, I can find solutions faster than other people, and I often think of ideas that nobody else has thought of. I need to move so I can think. Fidgeting, rocking my chair, biting my nails, doodling, even talking. The problem is, adults think I'm choosing not to pay attention, when actually movement is my brain's way of helping me so I don't get distracted. Being so energetic can be an advantage too. I love doing practical jobs and I can be very helpful. I'm endlessly curious and keen to try new activities. My teammates see me as brave, but the truth is that my speedy brain doesn't give me time to think about the risks. When I'm doing things I find interesting, my brain works better. Unfortunately, that's not always the case at school. I often get told off when I'm fidgety or when I've forgotten something. It feels like I can never do anything right, which makes me sad and sometimes angry. I'm usually good at making friends because I'm fun to be around, but sometimes children find me annoying when I don't know when to stop and do silly things without thinking. I feel upset when they don't invite me to things. Maybe their parents are worried because they don't understand ADHD. My doctor gave me medication to help my brain organise my thoughts. Medicine doesn't always work for ADHD people, but luckily it worked for me. The doctor also spoke to my parents, who spoke to my teachers, who spoke to my classmates. And now everyone around me understands about my speedy ADHD brain. They help me point my energy in the right direction, they're more patient with me, and we write down instructions so I don't forget things. They encourage me to take movement breaks and help me make lists and charts so I can organise myself better. 1 in 20 people have ADHD, so you probably already know someone like me. Go and find that person and ask them all about their amazing brain.
So that's with respect to the conversation of, or the dialogues of an affected girl over here. Now, why am I to establish the fact that ADHD is not
Pay
something
attention.
with only the boys. It is to do with the girls as well. So before we further go forward, let's understand quickly about the ADHD as a misconception. Many people believe that ADHD is just being naughty or lazy. They think that the students do what they do just because they're irritated. They don't want to do a certain activity, and just because of that. So it's not the case. The fact is, ADHD is a medical neurodevelopmental condition, not a behavior choice. And right after that, only boys have ADHD. No, girls can also have ADHD. That's another big issue. In fact, many girls do not show hyperactivity, they can show inattentiveness. Hyperactivity is different from inattentiveness. While we are discussing this point, I would also like to tell about the next, very important point. Children with ADHD can't focus at all. It's actually a wrong statement. In fact, they have this trouble of hyper focus. That means they can hyper focus on things they find interesting. Focus problem shows up in routine task. So, for example, you really like to play, say, a certain game. You cannot come out of that easily. So, hyper focus is a disadvantage, or is a side effect which acts like an advantage for the children. Maybe if they choose the right thing to do. ADHD is caused by bad parenting or too much screen time. Not at all. Parenting style or screens don't cause ADHD, but support and environment can make symptoms better or worse. They'll outgrow it, eventually it'll be fine. ADHD can improve with support, but many continue to have symptoms as teens and adults. So it's not the thing that it'll get completely cured. It is something to probably live with it. But when you know them, you're aware about it, probably the attention towards what you're doing will get increased. Yeah. So here in this case, medication is the only solution. No, behavioral strategies, classroom adjustments, and counseling are equally important. So it's a process of conversation. Any neurodevelopmental issue cannot be just cured like that, especially when psychological effect comes into picture. So these are some of the misconceptions, and whatever we have read out, it's basically the facts. So it's important for us to understand that there are many celebrities who are affected with ADHD. We have some of the common names over here. Alia Bhatt, everybody knows about her. She's an actress. Then Fahad Fasil, and then you have got Bill Gates, and there is somebody called as Justin Timberlake, and then Emma Watson, who's from Harry Potter. I think many people actually know about these common figures who are affected with ADHD. Probably they've utilized the other effect of hyper focus to make sure that they are able to navigate with life, something like that. I really have low bandwidth, and today Zoom is not supporting me. My video is not clear. I'm extremely sorry for this. I didn't expect today's topic is something really important. For that, right now I would like to call upon an important member, a clinical psychologist, someone with a ma'am over here, who is actually part of parenting. She's a consulting clinical psychologist in various locations, and in fact, even in Bangalore, she has her own setup where she talks to people. I think she is one of the most appropriate person to talk to and understand ADHD from misconceptions point of view. Someone with them, I'm welcome. I hope you're able to hear me clearly.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Great. So, ma'am, first of all, for all the teachers, we are predominantly teachers over here. We would like to have a certain queries understood. The first question that we wanted to understand is ADHD a category of something like a disability, or is it supposed to be addressed like that?
Hmm. Okay, so basically, see, I don't believe that it is a disability because children will with ADHD have a lot other strengths that
I think
people,
you're able to hear me now.
Sorry, can you hear me? Yes, can I go on?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead. Now we are able
Yeah.
to have you clearly. Go ahead, please.
Yes, yes. So the thing is, it is not exactly a disability. It's the way we see those children that really matters because these children have some other abilities which they excel at that other children of this same age or with the same intelligence don't, right? So we can't see this as a disability is what I believe. And that is why, see, if you see, they it is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but in the definition it is a neurodevelopmental condition. That means it is a condition and it's not seen as something which is a disorder or a disability, though that word is there in the diagnosis itself. Yeah. I hope I'm clear. Yes. So, anything else that you would like to know?
I'm sorry.
No
I
problem. No
was
problem.
not. My internet bandwidth is a little low, so that's why I'm not able to constantly. So we get that point, ma'am. Thank you so much for that. So when we talk about ADHD, there's another important question some teachers were actually asking.
Mm, mm.
Are these children compatible with the regular schools that we go, or do you think that we require special kind of schools for ADHD students? What's your opinion on schooling?
Okay, okay. See, the thing is, these children can definitely manage in a normal school, and they don't need a special school, right? Because if you see children with ADHD, their intelligence is usually intact, right? It
Okay.
is in the average level or sometimes even in the above average level. Okay, and their socialization is good, right? They tend to make friends, and they have a lot of friends, and they also excel in their studies. Some children with ADHD, though they get easily distracted, and though they find difficulties in focusing on particular subjects, they really get really good marks, right? So that is not an issue for them. So but what happens is sometimes ADHD also comes with other difficulties, like for example learning disability or difficulty, or some children might have certain emotional issues or other behavioral issues which overlaps with ADHD, which will cause them to cause their academic performance to be affected. So if it is only ADHD, it is not necessary that they can't manage the academic pressure or things like that. They definitely will be able to excel. It's just that if they find the subject boring, right, that is
Okay.
when the issue is. So it is up to the teachers and parents to help the child um, uh, uh, you know uh, study or prepare for that particular subject in an interesting manner, right? So you
Okay.
using all the senses, so things like that will make it interesting for the child to study and prepare for the exam as well.
Understood, understood. So, to grab their attention and to keep them focused, it's
Yes,
important for the teachers to have differentiated pedagogical strategies and make
yes,
the class interesting with probably hands-on activities and things like that regularly, right?
yes, yes.
Now that brings me to the next question. So, actually, when we look into certain surveys, especially from United States, not
Mm,
much in India, though, I would like to highlight that many children are diagnosed, so-called
mm,
diagnosed with ADHD,
mm,
right after 2015 and
mm, mm,
2016.
mm,
Nearly, they make a point stating that more than 50% is an increase in number of children, basically
mm, mm.
getting diagnosed. Why do you think that that trend is happening right now?
Okay, okay. So this is a very good question, and thank you for asking. So, see, the thing is, we all, right, evolutionarily, all of us, we humans are, meant to be active, right? And being active and exploring new things was actually valued and encouraged, back then. Right. And I
Okay,
think when we were all children, we had a lot of free play, right? Time to
right,
time to just engage in conversations and just go around and play a lot of physical activity. But after 2010, I think that's when
right,
the smartphones emerged and a lot of technological devices emerged, and that brought about a constraint in all the free play, and a lot of technology, basically technological influences came into the childhood of children these days, right? And from 2015 onwards, even very active children, it needn't be high, see where active meaning, you have a lot of energy inside of you, right? And you need to channelize that in some way or the other. And children back then did have a lot of free play, but what about children these days? Or they don't have, there aren't many playgrounds. If you can find any playground nearby, that's like a wow, right? So what happens is, when a child has stored up energy inside the inside him or her, and they tend to exhibit that in a place where they are supposed to be seated, or where they're supposed to be in a certain way or behave in a certain way, that is when it becomes abnormal for many people when they observe, because we're able to do it, why aren't they able to do, right? So
okay,
this is the reason why I feel that many children get misdiagnosed for just being active, right? So
okay.
see, hyperactivity has a lot other hyperactivity or
Influences.
impulsivity, yes, yes, lot other categories or things to focus at, but many children who are just active are misdiagnosed as being hyperactive, right? So
Great.
yeah, this is the reason why the rates have increased a lot. But other than that, even there are genuine diagnosis also which is being happening. But and if you observe your own surroundings, any child you see is super active and keeps running around and everything, the society generally judges the child, saying that I think he's a little bit hyperactive, I think you should look into it. But it is not
Okay,
just that activity or just running around continuously or anything that matters. See, the
okay,
thing is, between the ages of 3 and 5, right? All these running around and not the impulsivity and all these becomes an age-appropriate behavior, right? That is
okay,
why diagnosis is often done after age of 6, right? A
okay,
little bit of
okay.
impulse control, a little bit of response inhibition, all these would have developed slowly only after age of 6, and some children take time to develop all those, even after 7 or 8 they do that, right? But that doesn't mean that the child lacks something. See, the
Okay.
main thing with ADHD is that it is basically biological. Okay, that is why it is a neurodevelopmental condition, because
Very good.
our frontal brain, right? If you see the prefrontal
Prefrontal
cortex,
cortex.
yes, the
Right.
prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for your executive functioning, attention, this response inhibition, impulse control, problem solving, decision making, all these things, right? The prefrontal cortex is responsible for that, and
Right.
this is completely developed only by the age of 25. Okay.
Right.
And that, see, this is also one of the reasons why adolescents also find it difficult to handle the pressures of their school or their life in
Correct.
general, right? So
Correct.
so imagine when adolescents go through that, children also go through this in a different way,
Got it.
right? And children with ADHD, for them especially, and this prefrontal cortex or the frontal lobe develops a little slower than children of their own age. It does develop. They catch up with the pace, but it is a little slower for them, and they find it a little difficult, right? And you also so somebody has asked, do genes affect? Yes, it definitely does, right? Because when you take the statistics, when a parent has ADHD, there is 50% chance that the child will also have that. And also when the siblings have, there are 30% chance that the other sibling might also develop ADHD. So this is basically the reason why children go through all those struggles that you have described so far.
Understood. So
Yeah.
basically, that gives a very clear point that environmental factors play an important role in probably hyperactivity. But
Hmm.
just because somebody is hyperactive, they need not be categorized under ADHD because it's more of a neurodevelopmental disorder.
Correct, correct, a condition.
Condition, not a
Yes,
disorder. Yeah,
yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry for that.
It's
Yes,
okay.
great. So
Yeah.
then it's very simple. I think as teachers were mentioning about what as a teacher, because now that the teachers are aware about things, let's assume that they're going to research a little
Hmm.
bit. As a teacher, what are those action items that you recommend?
Hmm.
As a third party, we are not experts in that. We just know the symptoms of it. what
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do towards such kind of children?
Yeah. See, for example, these children, okay, evidence suggests that nature basically calms them down. See, when it comes to ADHD, we all know that inattention, impulsivity, hyperactivity, these are the features, that describes ADHD. But there is one more thing that is that comes after this is the emotional dysregulation that comes because of all these. So when the child starts observing or realizing that something is not okay, that I'm not able to function just like how my friends or other children are able to, that is when they start getting frustrated, they get a little bit emotional, and they also become a little sensitive, right? So that is the reason why they tend to misbehave. But when the teacher says a little thing also, they start crying, or they get frustrated or angry very easily. So there is also this emotional dysregulation which happens. That is also because the frontal lobe is developing slowly, because frontal lobe is also responsible for emotional regulation, right? So
Got it.
their mammalian brain is only active right now, and that
Okay.
causes the emotional dysregulation, right? So what happens is, yes. Sorry, I
No
got away.
problem. No
What's
problem.
what's the question? What's the question?
So basically, the question was mainly
Yes,
as a
the
teacher.
correct.
Yeah. What are
Okay, okay.
those
As a
simple
teacher,
steps
what
that we
can
have to
they
take?
do?
No,
So, so emotional regulation also comes along with this, and research suggests that in any things related to the nature, right? If it's there in the room or the classroom, helps them calm down. Like for example, green or some plant, greenery or plants or trees around. All these things, when the child looks at it, even I think as adults, when we look at a plant or anywhere we are surrounded with trees, right? That tends to calm us down, that makes us feel grounded, right? That's the same thing which applies to a child who's also struggling. It basically calms them down. So in having some indoor plants or some sort of anything with respect to nature inside the classroom can help. That is one thing. The next thing is that when you notice a child trying to be fidgety and which is eventually distracting the other child sitting next to them, you can just calmly call the child out, and not making it very obvious, but trying to distract him. Or see, the reason why he's being very fidgety is because there is stored up energy, and that energy needs to be let out some way or the other. Maybe giving that child a little work so that he can go out and come back and sit, so he'll be able to focus better in the class, right? And and then later calling the child out and asking him what the issue is, rather than telling that this is how you were behaving and this is not good, this is not bad. Rather than evaluating the child, asking the child what is actually happening, what is it that you're finding difficult sitting inside. I noticed that you were being fidgety, so what could you do, right? So asking them the question, and how differently can we handle this, asking them for the solution as well, like brainstorming. That gives the responsibility to the child, so that they know that they are the ones who are choosing to choose the solution, or to do things in certain ways. So they will definitely stick on to it. The teacher is not giving the solution there, or the parent is not giving the solution. It's the
Got
child
it.
who is choosing. So that means responsibility, and responsibility means they will stick on to it, right? So things like that. And the teachers could also suggest that whenever you feel you're not able to focus, and you feel that you really need to get up and walk, it is okay for them to do that. Maybe that child can be allowed to just go around the corridor for a walk and then come back and sit, right? They don't have to ask the teacher, they don't have to disrupt the class, and they don't have to do that. They can just get up and go. And another thing which can work really well is that we all have like 40 to 50 minutes of classes, a period is 40 to 50 minutes, right? And what happens is one teacher goes and immediately the other teacher comes, right? So there is no space for a child with ADHD to actually relax and then focus on the next one. So what every teacher can do is they can have some sort of a physical exercise or some sort of physical activity before the class begins, one time during the class and after the class as well. So
Okay.
that way these small breaks can give children, not just children with ADHD, but other children also, ability to relax and focus, right? Because movement definitely relaxes the body, it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, right? And it also
Okay.
doesn't make the child feel exhausted or fatigued because of the too much. I mean, there is going to be information overload for them, right? And these days the curriculum is too much that children find it very difficult to sit and take everything, and they need time to process. So this movement will also help them process, and also they will be emotionally regulated with the movement. So this
Got
can
it.
really help. I think this is what I can think of for now. If there is
Okay.
anything, maybe I'll let you know, and you can share with the teachers as well.
Great, great. Now, one last point before we conclude on this. Many teachers are having this misconception again of one important terminology called as stimulation, and
Mm, mm,
they talk about overstimulation that can really affect the brain's
mm,
performance of changing,
mm,
the attention continuously. And they
mm,
also
mm,
talk about colorful classrooms and things
mm,
like
mm,
that.
mm,
There is
mm,
also a study saying that too much of colors in a classroom is also kind of overstimulation. So could you please
mm,
throw a small light on that
mm,
particular area of stimulation and its effect on hyperactivity and its effect
mm.
on ADHD?
Okay, okay. So, yes, the concern about stimulation is always there. It is even for little children as young as few months old, right?
Okay.
What happens is, see, when there are colorful things around you, right? There is too much to focus on, and before you even focus on one color, you will be attracted to the other color, and you want to go there. So that color is not complete, right? The attention doesn't go there, and it keeps shifting from one place to the other, and that is the reason why the focus is also less. And if you see this show called, I mean, the channel Cocomelon, right? So many psychologists believe that, and there are also research studies which says that it is highly stimulating because there are too much of colors, and every action is just for few seconds, right? So what happens is the attention span decreases, and the child doesn't know where to focus on or who to look at. There are too many faces, right? So things like that definitely will help, will not help the child focus on things. And when you maintain a very blank classroom, not many stimulation, like just plain walls, and very few information charts will definitely help the child absorb and observe whatever is happening around. Right. So that's about it. I hope I've answered it the way you want me to, or is there any discrepancy between your question and my understanding? Yes, I think somebody has told watching reels. Yes, that definitely is a as he said, screen time doesn't cause ADHD, but it can worsen the symptoms of ADHD because these days everything is like everybody wants everything quickly. So these YouTube shorts and reels and everything is like happens within a minute. So when we allow children to scroll, right, their attention span also becomes that much, and it is also uncontrollable. It is like a addictive loop, right? You keep doing it again and again, you really don't know when to stop. So what happens, it looks like the child is able to sit on the phone for a long time. The attention span given when the phone is given in the hand is longer, but what is happening inside the phone is like for a short period of time. So when they have to study or when they have to listen to a class, they cannot do that more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because that is the kind of behavior, or that's how the brain has been rewired to do so. Okay, I must only listen to or I can only, I have the ability only to sit for 10 minutes. More than 10 minutes, it becomes too much for me, so I don't want to sit. So things like that, the brain is instructed to do so because of the technological influences. Yeah. Drawing is somebody has told something. One second. Yes, definitely. Drawing is a mindful activity which helps them ground down, which helps them focus, and that's a good way to channelize. But not many people benefit from drawing as well, because some children are movement children and they really like to go around, and some children are language children. They really like to talk. They really like to express, and some children are artistically inclined. So there are different. I think there was already a workshop on multiple intelligence which was happening, so you can focus on that and make sure that the activities that you bring into class, the three activities, could involve multiple senses of theirs, so that all the children benefit from it. Yeah.
Got it, ma'am. So yeah, great insights today, and lot of clarity in ADHD. Some of the key misconceptions of screen time affecting ADHD and hyperactivity was very nicely established. It's an honor that we got to talk to you. I'm pretty sure a lot of teachers will have a lot of queries, not only with respect to ADHD but also with respect to various other aspects of psychology, especially for their children in the schools. So one thing that I have about you that you do commonly regularly is your Instagram page that I've posted here on the chat. However, if we have to get in touch with you, is there any other method that we can get in touch with you? If you can put it.
Sure, I'll just type out my mail ID, and they definitely can reach out to me.
Great, great. So, teachers, we could have the mail ID of ma'am, and if there is anyone with any clarifications required, anything of psychology related queries, especially that you're confused that why is your child behaving the way they are behaving, it is important for us to get that information from the right person. I would also like to highlight that right now there are many people who do probably 3 months course or probably a month crash course on psychology and categorize themselves under doctors and things like that. It's rampant in cities actually, so it's important for us to get in touch with the right people. And someone with a ma'am can definitely guide us with those aspects. Please go through her profile, and she'll be able to answer all your queries. So more important than getting answers, getting the right answers from the right person is the most important aspect. I hope I'm right, Samanita ma'am, on that regard.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much for pointing that out, because there are a lot of quacks now in the field who, as you said, who just do quick online courses, like a weekend course, and they become psychologists and therapists, and and they wish well for people. They want to serve, they want to help people, but then eventually what happens is they tend to harm the family itself, not just the client, but the family as a whole. So So thank you for pointing that out. People need, they need to reach out to a qualified and a trained professional. And before you get help from somebody, make sure that you ask for their qualification, or if they're registered in a licensed body. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's it, ma'am. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for being with us today. We got a lot of
Thank you.
understanding today. Looking forward to meet you again with another interesting psychological topic.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Me too. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. So I would like to thank all the teachers. Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the next Super Sunday workshop. I would like to meet all of you in another Super Sunday workshop with another interesting topic. Until then, Jai Hind to one and all. Bye, teachers. I would like to request all the teachers to please fill up the reflection form and submit it by Tuesday to get the certificate for this session. And also make sure that you go through this session again and ma'am's profile a little more. I very strongly believe that I'm not the right person to actually talk about ADHD, and that made us actually get in touch with someone with a ma'am. So again, I'm repeating the same thing. Get the information from the right person, someone who's really licensed. Psychology is a very, very trivial topic, and it's very important to be dealt with a well-researched person. So thank you so much, teachers. Have a super Sunday. It was great interacting with one and all. Spend time with your family. I'll meet you again, and I'm very sorry for all the glitches in the beginning. We're nearly 22 minutes late today. We had a little dependency on Zoom. I'll ensure that this doesn't happen again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. I'm sharing the presentation link on the chat, teachers. I would be sharing this again in the next Super Sunday workshop as well, as I missed sharing it before. Thank you, Praveen sir. Thank you, Savitri ma'am. Thank you, Seema ma'am. Shikala ma'am, get in touch with ma'am over the email. Thank you, Sharmila ma'am. Our team members will be putting the email ID of Samanvita ma'am again on the chat. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. Lovely, Sarabjit ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.